All right, we are live. What's up, guys? What's happening? What is good, Manila? Welcome to Behind the Shot, the show where top visual storytellers share their best three shots and the stories behind them. Behind the Shot is proudly brought to you by Deity microphone. So, as you can see here, I'm sure you've been hearing me say this every episode, every single time, and very, very frequently. But I really am happy that they're here and they supported my small show. But it's not just that. I really use these mics in the field. I use this D3 Pro for this live online talk show. And I also use the S Mic 2 for my vlogs and the V Labs for my assignments and those documentaries. So these guys are tried and tested, amazing products, and I wouldn't have partnered with them if they are not, worth the penny. So that is that, and that is awesome. So today, we here in Manila, we enter the GCQ. So it's like quarantine light, and I have been getting news that it has been very difficult for those who are commuting, and my friend and I were talking about it, and I just hope that people still remember and they don't forget that the reason we have this GCQ is mainly to save the economy and to allow people to continue on with their jobs and to make a living. But that doesn't mean that the virus is gone or that it has been curbed. So if you can afford to stay home, I know not everyone can do that. Please do. If you absolutely have to, please be safe. And for those who are commuting or commuted to work today and are on their way home, please take care and be safe going home. Uh, I can't imagine how difficult it is. And actually, this is also one of the reasons why I started the show Behind the Shot. First, because I felt like I should do something to help entertain or do my small bit to keep people sane while they're at home. And so we have this show that is happening Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But at the same time, it has been my dream to have a show that allows me to promote fellow photographers, whether they're local or foreign. I think it's everyone's job as a community to help each one, and it's more of an everyone love everyone type of thing. And it's that being said, these guys that I have on my show are really talented. They're amazing, skilled photographers. So I hope that this show also serves as inspiration for everyone, and that is why we have Behind the Shots. Now, for those of you who don't know me, who are just tuning in to Behind the Shot today for the first time, we are on our 10th episode today. My name is Noel Guevara. I'm a conservation and wildlife photographer and filmmaker. And most of my work is on Instagram. You can visit it there. It's right down there below. And I've been doing this. I've been doing wildlife photography actually just probably 5 years now. But before that, I was a TV commercial director for the longest time. And, I think I found my calling right here. Behind the Shot is one of my shows here on YouTube. That is my primary platform for my channel. I also have shows like Hammerhead Gearhead, which is a gear review show. And I also have epic travel videos, tutorials, and what have you. So I use these shows as a way to share my advocacy, conservation, wildlife, everything. So I sneak them into these shows, and your support will go a long way. So if what I have right now with Behind the Shot or the shows that I have are right down your alley, please do like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Having these subscribers and this kind of support really motivates me to produce more content and to continue doing Behind the Shot. So like I said, also today is our 10th episode and our 4th week. So we are officially on our first monthsary. So if you're the type who celebrates that, let's celebrate that. So happy monthsary Behind the Shot, 10th episode. We are almost halfway. We are doing 22 episodes for this season. The 22nd episode will be on the 29th of June. So that is a month from now. And we've been having a good run. And the metrics, if I have to go to numbers, was amazing for a first run or for a show that was done on impulse. That said, we are already planning our second season. And in as much as I want to continue doing this as it is, and I do have the support of Deity microphones, it does not come free. I have to cover some expenses such as subscription and simulcast fees. So we are going to start a fundraising program. And I mentioned this last episode. But today we will be accepting pre-orders already. So we are launching our cap fundraising program. So this will be made by Vamos Performance Wear. This is the mock-up, obviously. So if this is something that you're interested in, please let me know. We don't have an online store yet. So if you are interested in the cap, these will sell for 550 pesos each and will be available for pre-order for 500 pesos. So should be more than enough to cover a season 2 release, and that will run for a much longer time. So this cap is inspired by the design and the aesthetics of Behind the Shot. So you have that Behind the Shot logo, that texture on the front panel as well, and that dark gray mesh. So it is a trucker cap. It's perfect actually for us photographers because we want something that covers and shields our eyes but is quite cool at the same time. And I will also be having a cap for my gear review show. This is Hammerhead Gearhead. It's going to be of a gray base, so that's the logo on a dark gray panel, but everything else is going to be black. So both are available for 500 pesos each pre-order and 550 when it becomes available in probably 4 to 6 weeks. So please, do need everyone's support, and if you subscribe to Behind the Shot, this will go a long way in having a season 2. So thank you for those who are considering that. Okay, so I'm very excited to introduce my guest. This guy is very, very talented. He began as a professional commercial photographer in 2004. He is a graduate of fine arts, major in painting from UST, and uses this formal training along with this tremendous natural talent to create a unique brand of imagery that reflects both his technical and creative mastery. This is not just Pablum, guys. This guy is really talented. I attest to that. And I met him. Actually, before I met him, I was already following him on Instagram. And then I was very fortunate to meet him in one of the trade shows that Nikon had. He has, but here's the thing. He only started with landscape photography in 2016, but even then, in just a short time, he started winning international and local awards. So most recently, he was awarded Best of Country and 5th place in the Nature and Landscape category in the 2019 World Photography Cup. His work has also been featured multiple times in the National Geographic website. I have seen it also in Your Shot. It was, I think, an editor pick or a daily dozen. So that says a lot about his work. He is also currently a brand ambassador of Nikon Philippines. That's how we met. And Nisi Filters PH, and is also a Benro tripod influencer. He also conducts talks and workshops around the country. Now, being fellow Nikon ambassadors, I met this guy at the launch of the Nikon Z mirrorless line. It feels so long ago, but very nice guy. Just approached him, and I met Gab Mejia, who was my guest in the previous episode, at the same time, and the three of us were together in the Cordilleras, I think at almost exact time last year, or was it around June 6th? But it was a short stint. I think it was just a week, and oh no, sorry, shorter than a week. But when he was giving his workshops, I actually learned so much. I have this thing that I always feel that I'm a student. I declare that I'm always a student and I never want to stop learning. And this guy is such a good teacher. In fact, he has a line of workshops that were slated for this year that I wanted to join. He had one in Canada. I think he was planning one in Batanes and a one in China. So if I only had the money for it, I would have gone all three. But yeah, this guy is the perfect teacher if you want to learn more about landscape photography and much more. So I'd like to welcome our guest for this evening, Mr. Cris Magsino. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hello, Noel. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. And
Yeah,
thank you for having me on your show.
yeah, definitely. You were on the original roster. Chris, thank you for joining us today. Now, guys, before I ask Chris some questions, we are Behind the Shot is not the only one celebrating something today. Chris had his birthday yesterday. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, happy birthday, man. So perfect siya. Perfect. Okay,
I
so
remember the Cordillera. That's 1 year ago.
which one?
The Cordillera, the one that we had.
Oh nga eh. So was that
Uh,
exactly 1 year ago? Was that
I think so. It appeared in my timeline. Just I think yesterday or today.
yeah, that was fun, no? Sobrang saya nun. Super
uh,
saya nun. Okay, so Chris, how are you? I know you're always traveling. You mentioned earlier before the show that you had a lot of plans for this year. So how have you been keeping busy considering you're always out for landscapes?
Very difficult these times to travel. No, I canceled around four trips, sana for this year, including the ones with the workshops. in
Okay.
Batanes, China, and Canada. And then
Okay.
also a personal trip to Egypt also I canceled.
Wow. Egypt.
Oh, yeah,
What did you want to shoot in Egypt? Sorry.
the pyramids.
Pyramids. Of course,
That's
of
my
course.
lifelong dream to shoot the pyramids.
It's everyone's dream naman. Wow, may plano
Uh,
ka pala to go to Egypt. When was that scheduled for?
April.
April? Okay, so tapos na
Oh,
dapat.
tapos
Okay,
na.
okay. All right. So, Chris, I saw actually the past few weeks you have been posting something that was very uncommon in your line of for landscape photographer. No, you were doing miniature photography.
Yeah, that kept me busy while in ECQ.
Yeah.
Because I have this collection of miniature cars,
Okay.
still model cars, and then natripan ko na i-shoot to keep me busy and to keep the creative juices flowing.
That's true. That's true. But was this something you were doing before? Kasi I'm sure there are photographers who are, creatively frustrated eh. Ano, parang pinasukan mo lang siya or did you know how to do it na before?
I played with it a few years back, shooting the Star Wars figures.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's right. That's right.
and then ngayon nga, I kept myself busy when I cleaned my cabinet of cars. That's the idea popped in.
Okay, okay. Sayang pala no. I should have asked you for those photos for those miniature. And you know what? Later, when you're talking, I'll try to get it and insert it in the program, no, as we go. No, okay. So Chris, you only started with landscape photography 2016. So this sort of gives people some form of hope, no, for those who feel like, oh, it's too late for me not to learn. And then here you are in 2016, you got into it. But what happened? Parang saan nagsimula yung fascination mo?
Yeah. So yung 2016, that's the year that we visited Canada.
Okay.
And me and my brother went there with the family, and then we had this side trip to Banff.
Okay.
Alberta.
Yeah. Of course.
So sa side trip na yun sa Banff, that's for me and my brother only, and the sole purpose of which is to shoot landscape.
Okay, so boys trip pala to.
Yeah,
Okay.
doon namin na-discover yung joy of shooting landscapes, no.
Okay.
Pero yung background to in photography, being in commercial photography for several years,
Mhm.
siguro that helped a lot in me adjusting quickly because
Okay.
I had this idea na on the right proper exposure and
Mhm.
settings and everything. So,
Okay.
naging easy for me yung transition.
So I want to mention this no. Chris's brother Win is also a really really good, very tremendously talented landscape photographer as well, no. And you guys started at the same time or did nauna si Chris?
Yeah. Started
Okay. Cool.
in landscape at the same time.
Okay.
Pero
I
before
see.
that, nauna ako sa kanya into commercial photography.
I see. Okay. So that Banff trip was really exploratory. That really started everything.
Yes.
Okay. Sige, before we get started on your first set of photos, can you tell the viewers what is in your kit? What do you use? What camera, lenses, filters, everything?
Recently nung na-streamline ko na yung gear ko, no?
Mhm.
Kasi before I used to bring everything eh. Bring
Okay.
lenses, two bodies, and then when as you grow old, then you want to carry as light as possible, di ba?
Okay. Yes, of course.
So,
Gets
kaya,
it.
one body na lang, which is the Z7.
Okay.
Z7.
Okay.
And then, sometimes most of the time I only use the 2470 on these trips.
24 to 70. Okay.
Yeah, pero when I pagka medyo sinisipag ako, I'll also include the 70 to 200.
Okay. When you say 24 to 70, is this the f4 or the f2.8?
F4.
F4. Okay, so
Yeah.
for you guys watching, you don't always have to get, the 2.8, the widest opening the lens. And Chris has been doing so well with F4. Why did you choose to stay with F4 and not F2.8?
Kasi with landscape photography, you seldom do the bokeh shot, di ba?
Okay, yeah.
You want everything in focus eh. So
Okay.
F4 doesn't matter because you stay from F8 to F11, di ba? Yun yung mga sweet spot for landscape photography.
Right.
So, it doesn't matter na.
It doesn't matter. And sorry, shameless plug to guys, we're both from Nikon. So, but in all honesty, the f4, the 24 to 70 is an amazing lens.
Yeah, it's a crisp, sharp, and maganda yung ano niya, quality, image
Okay.
quality.
Oh, and you have the testament of the testimonial of Chris. Okay, so let's set up this first shot, Chris. Before I show it, can you give us a background? Where you shot this, when it was, and what was the inspiration to go ahead and look for this image?
Because after the Canada trip, the next in line was the US trip, no, and then
Okay.
me and my brother came up with the itinerary
Okay.
to shoot as much iconic landscape spots in the US as much as possible.
Okay.
So since we will be going to Vegas, one of our stops is in Vegas.
Mhm.
We had a side trip in Utah. No?
Okay.
So we one of the iconic spots there is of course the Monument Valley.
Okay.
So that's when we planned an overnight shoot there,
Mhm.
coming from Vegas. So we drove around 6 hours in the night, no,
Wow.
just to get here. And then the
Okay.
the challenging one that we experienced in this trip, kasi we came from New York actually before going to Vegas.
Okay.
And then in New York pala, there's this frequency of thunderstorms
Okay.
that cuts off the airport entirely, and
Okay.
then all the flights are canceled.
Okay.
And so that's very challenging for us, because that's the first time we encountered a canceled flight.
Okay.
And imagine we have our parents with us, the kids,
Right.
so the whole family is with us, and we had to stay in the airport for the whole night, no?
Right.
Just to wait for to be a chance passenger to get out of New York,
Okay.
going to Vegas. So that's a challenging part. And then
Okay.
so nasira na yung schedule namin, kasi we supposedly will be arriving in Vegas around lunch or early before lunch. So we had enough time to drive to Utah dapat, di ba? And then arrive there for the sunset shot.
Nice.
So
Okay.
nawala yung chance na yon.
Okay.
Na yun. And then yung booking namin at the hotel there is for overnight only. So after when we arrived late at night in Vegas around 7 p.m., wala nang pahinga. Drive agad papuntang Utah.
Wow. Wild.
To catch the sayang kasi yung booking and everything.
Right, of course.
So even pagod.
Sige, let's show that photo so that people have a context. Wow, this is an amazing photo. How did you achieve this photo, Chris?
That photo is a panorama na stitch, no?
Okay.
It's composed of 14 shots using
14.
that, and I used the D800 for that, D850 for that.
Okay.
So you can imagine the file size of the raw file. It's a gigapixel file.
Wild. Okay. So what's your camera? What's the orientation? Was it vertical? Was it horizontal?
I think it's in horizontal. Yeah.
Horizontal. Okay.
3 rows of 4 shots.
Wow.
Parang ganun siya. Yeah.
That's a lot of pixels, Chris.
Yeah, that's a lot of pixels. And the challenging dyan is when I stitched it, hindi ko na ma-edit sa bigat. I can't edit it anymore because of the file size. That's why I had to scale it down to the native size of that 850.
Okay. So parang divide by 12. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then so how did you, for reference of the laymen who have an idea of photography but really aren't into landscape photography, how did you set it up, and then how long, over what period of time did you shoot this photo?
Okay. So we arrived at this place around 12 midnight or 1 a.m.
Okay.
After driving, and then wala nang sleep. We set yung maganda doon sa hotel namin din sa Monument Valley. You can show the hotel. It's called The View, the View Hotel.
Okay.
It's right smack in front of this one.
Okay, this video.
If you can see this is our room, no? Ayan si Win. Morning na to, afternoon na. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you walk out of the balcony. That's
Wow.
that's the view already.
Wow, it's perfect.
Oh, perfect yan. And all the rooms are like that there.
So you didn't have to rough it out that much kasi just go
Yeah,
out the window
oo.
and then ka na.
Yeah. Yung driving lang yung challenging for this shot actually. Kasi
Okay.
nandun na yung view, doon na. The View Hotel.
Nice. Okay, nice. Okay. Sige, so
Uh,
let's go back to this. So over how long a period of time did you shoot it, Chris?
that one around dusk na to eh.
Okay.
From around 4,
Mm-hmm.
around 4 onwards. Ganun na
Okay.
yung time na yan. So you can
Okay.
see already the start of the sunrise. This is a
Right.
sunrise shot actually.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
want to shoot this daytime. Sunrise and sunset, sa likod na yung sunset niya.
So Chris, clarify this for me. So let's say this is a 12 image stitch, right? That's what you're saying. So does that mean if you take one whole set and then you want to take another one whole set ulit? As in ganong batches siya.
I did it in rows, no? If I remember, mga 30-second per, 30-second per shot.
Okay.
So, I had to do it quickly kasi medyo paliwanag na siya.
Mm-mm.
And then, so, pagka-shoot ko ng isa, move lang ako horizontally. So,
Okay.
four horizontal shots muna. And
Okay.
then, tilt the camera upwards, another 4 horizontal shots. And then, tilt upwards again, the final 4.
Okay.
Ganun yung ginawa ko dyan eh.
Okay. Pero one set, parang one round lang yon.
One round siya, pero meron din akong may exaggeration din ako dito kasi the Milky Way will be too high for this shot if you want to shoot it
Okay.
talagang in one shot.
Okay.
So medyo may exaggerate, artistic call na lang yung I repositioned it and everything.
Okay.
Pero nandun din talaga siya. It arcs there, but it's a little bit, it's much higher. It will take around more shots to get it in one, to shoot it in perspective, di ba?
Right.
In the right perspective. So, gano'n na lang.
Okay. So I want to get into your mind lang, Cristo. So let's say you have this shot, you had it in your head before you took it.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things that I do when I do this iconic places.
Mm-hmm.
I always research and see the existing shots.
Okay.
Then as much as possible, I want my shots to be different from all those. No? So parang I try to achieve na ako yung mauuna or something, or not done frequently by others, parang ganun.
Okay, perfect. That was actually my next question. No? So when you are obviously, have you been here before?
Not yet. That's my first time.
Okay. So how do you? Okay. So you see the photos, you research the visual research. Ito na yung existing. I want to be different. But how do you do that when you haven't been there and you don't know which other angles are possible?
Yeah. For this one kasi there's no other angle to shoot this unless you go down dun sa valley.
Okay.
And you search for a foreground or something, di ba?
Okay.
So this one we didn't have that luxury of time to explore because we arrived late at night and then we have to check out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I opt to do the classic Monument Valley shot, but with a twist of doing the arc on top of it. No?
Right.
And then yung agaw nung light and darkness, kasama na naging naging bonus na lang siya.
Nice.
Kasi while I was shooting it, nagkaroon na ng horizon glow.
Okay. You have this other photo here. So this is your...
Yan yan yung medyo liwanag na. The sun is already high.
Okay.
So you can still see the di ba, the horizon glow.
Yes.
Pero the sky is bright already, not to see the stars.
Okay. And then so you used the D850 and then did you use what kind of lens did you use?
For this one, I used the 14-24.
14 to 24. Okay.
Yes.
The heavy lens from Nikon.
Yeah, the heavy lens.
Okay. And then you were at what? 24?
I can't remember already. I think it's at 24.
24 pa siya. Okay. Right. And then oh no, someone was asking a question Yeah, na-retract na yung question niya. Okay, so I want to go back and then, so those light streaks, you were timing it also when the cars were passing?
Yeah, I timed those light streaks. Kasi even late at night, people are driving in this area. No?
Okay.
So I just timed it na merong dadaan. And then, I captured it, I added it to the composition
Right.
to have this something interesting on the foreground. Yeah.
Okay. And then, Chris, did this image win awards?
Yeah, this one won this year sa
Wow.
World Photographic Cup.
Okay.
Uh, this year it won,
2020.
2020, Best of Country for
Nice.
this
Galing.
year. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations, Chris. Galing.
Thank you. And this one is also the one that's featured in Nat Geo.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Grabe. Nagsa-stack yung recognition stickers. Okay. And then, sige. So, that is yung, I guess, this gives everyone a taste, no? The sort of context on the type of imagery that Chris does. I want to go back a couple of decades or years. And Chris, can you tell us more about your training in painting and how it translated to your photography?
yeah, because yun nga, when I was still in college, I painted a lot in oil.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
yung colors na na-develop ko in my painting days, I think it carried over to my works now eh. Parang nakikita mo very stark and may touch of darkness, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero it's not dull. I like the play with colors. I like the colors to pop and show but not too not saturated, no?
Yes.
Parang diffused na colors pero siya, popping pa din.
Okay.
So yun yung nag-translate ngayon na tingin ko you can still see you can see in this painting parang yan yung colors ng Monument Valley, di ba?
Oo nga eh. May palette siya.
May palette na. Yeah.
Okay. But in what sense in terms of painting, and I want to clarify this early to everyone, no? So for context, I'm a documentary photographer of wildlife. So kami, when we take shots, it's as it is eh. So that's how we preserved it. But what Chris does is something a bit more complicated. No? So that is what you call fine art landscape photography, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's the difference between landscape, na documentary landscape that yung what you're doing, na hindi pwedeng manipulate yung image, di ba?
Yeah.
You have to be truthful to your image.
Yes.
Whereas dun dito sa fine art landscape kasi we can tweak it to suit our style, you know, for us to be able to express and express ourselves through what we shoot by playing around with it. Parang ganun siya eh.
Okay. Right. So basically, guys, this is a different set of rules, no? So for us kasi, when we do underwater, Chris, I know you know this, babawal kami mag-manipulate. So we can only remove backscatter and change, but fine art photography has its own set of rules. And you are allowed to it's fine art, so you're allowed to manipulate as much as you want. Now, which brings me to my question: how do you bring the experience or the skill of painting when you manipulate the images naman, Chris?
Okay. So sa painting kasi we can be kaya maraming genre ang painting din, di ba? You can be a realist, you can be an abstract, you can be a surreal. You can kasi that's your personal expression of the art eh, di ba?
Okay.
So we bring that in sa fine art landscape by playing around with colors. Sometimes yung iba, di ba, very playful with the colors, with the manipulation, with the compositing, di ba?
Yeah.
So there's different different approaches in fine art landscape. Ikaw yung magse-set ng sarili mong rules for yourself.
Okay.
Sa akin kasi, when I do this manipulation, like that one, I manipulated the Milky Way in the shot, pero I see to it na nandun din talaga yung Milky Way, no?
Yes.
I don't put the Milky Way where it's not supposed to be.
Okay.
Kasi I had this comment before when I was starting and doing this manipulation na may nag-comment na tiga dun sa bansa na yun. Why are you putting the Milky Way there and it's not there, and people will be going to that place waiting for the Milky Way.
so scientifically hindi talaga nag-appear doon yung Milky Way. That's what he's saying. Totoo naman, tama siya.
Yun yung rule na nag-stick sa akin.
Okay.
I don't go overboard na too much fictional na, no? Parang
Right,
ganun.
right. May boundaries pa rin siya.
Uh,
So, and then I noticed, Chris, in this photo, when, this painting, this piece, when you sent this to me, na dito pa lang, you can already see your, penchant for sunsets or sunrise.
and then also the colors din, di ba?
Yeah.
Yan na yung palette ko before.
Mhm.
Then I think I carried over to my photography years.
Yeah.
So I had this and I've been playful with already with the composition and storytelling.
Yeah.
I don't paint yung mga still life or flowers or anything.
Okay.
I think I painted conceptual paintings before kasi.
Very thematic nga, Chris, yung paintings mo eh. So, galing. And then, so we have a question here, Chris, no? Medyo we're taking a step back. This is from Roland. How do you make the car light still connected by stitching 12 pictures?
How hard?
How did you make the car light, the streak, connected, still connected, even if it's a 12-pick stitch?
Doon papasok yung yung visualization.
Okay.
So you won't get it in the stitch shot, no? So I waited for a car to pass, and I took a single shot of that.
Okay.
Incorporated that in the final
Okay.
final shot.
I see. Actually,
So
yeah,
you
that
have
makes
to be
sense.
alam mo yun, medyo malikot dapat yung imagination mo na and anticipation
Right.
na magandang may light stick to pero I can't take it and I can't include it in the di ba, in the pano. So I'll just take a single shot of it and put it in the final stitch shot.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, that makes sense. And then Win is watching, so Win said hi. Okay, and then Chris, yeah, so these were paintings back in college, and this is a photo of you in college.
Si Intro Boys.
Nagbo-moonlight ka in between gigs yun ng Intro Boys. So this is Chris back in college. Nahanap ko pa siya. But actually, what's interesting, Chris, is the photo next after this. And I hope my nephew was watching kanina, who is a big fan of Star Wars, no? But leading up to that, this is what you were doing during lockdown.
Yeah, those are the my cars that I took during lockdown.
Okay, so guys, these are miniatures, miniatures. But
Yeah.
Where did you take the plate, the background plate?
This background is taken at Yosemite. It's a single shot ng background.
Okay.
Milky Way with the trees.
Nice. Okay. And then so I hope my nephew Renchi is still watching and you can see this. So how did you light this one naman?
Okay. Sige, yung car kanina, I lit that using two LED lights.
Nice. Okay.
And then yung tamang-tama naman yung table na ginamit ko, ang ganda ng effect din.
Okay.
I used that's the table itself, no? Hindi ko naging
Nice.
Nilagyan ko na lang siya ng asphalt texture na inland ko na lang doon, pero yung reflection and everything as is na siya. Ayun. Pero for that for the dark mole shot taken I think 2000 a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I lit that using an iPad. It's a light iPad.
With the screen or with the
screen?
With the screen. Okay.
So kita mo yung red rim lights.
Yes.
So I projected the red photo on the screen para red din yung rim light niya.
Galing Iba talaga pag painter eh. Yun eh. May advantage eh. And this one also.
Ganun din. So you can imagine the lightsaber di ba? Casting the red light.
Right.
So
right.
I projected the red screen from the iPad on the Star Troopers.
Pati yung yung distance nung light ginawa mo rin for the galing.
But these are several shots yan.
Okay.
So I lit it first with the white light. From different angles, no? And then last na yung rim lights, and then I combined everything in Photoshop.
Okay.
So multiple shots siya.
Okay. And then this one, Nikon Philippines shared this, no, but I saw it prior.
Okay. So yan yung first na sinot ko, that's the first one.
Okay.
I shot that on a real sunset, no? Dito sa balcony kasi namin you can see the sunset. And then the car is on a diorama I made a couple of years back.
Okay.
So yung trees and the ground and everything are real, pero miniature din.
Galing
I just
Wow.
erased the yung stand ng car.
Nung car.
Pero
Madali na
ganun
lang yan.
talaga siya.
Galing. You can really do a lot if you're just creative, no? Even this one.
Nakita mo yung BTS yan, di ba?
Yeah, I did. So parang hinihipan mo yung water. So you were blowing into the water so that you'll have that that splash.
Splatter.
Okay.
The sprayer.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's go to this next shot. I will show it now because you know what? I made the decision. I really like this because of the colors. So where was this taken, Chris?
Okay. This one was taken at the rim of Ijen in Indonesia. It's an active volcano in Indonesia, and then this is one of the iconic spots there, no?
Mm-hmm.
When you go here. And then challenging din yung place kasi we had to hike again. And knowing me, I'm not a hiker, I'm a lover.
Ako rin pa. I can't hike. So when we were in Cordilleras, guys, last year, it was only Gab who had, that lengthy experience in hiking. Kami ni Chris. Tap out kami. So ito, is this a longer hike than the one we did in Buscalan?
Yeah, this one is and much challenging.
Okay.
Challenging.
Steeper. Okay. Who were you with?
With this one with my brother again, with Win.
Okay, with Win. Okay.
Another friend, tatlo kami.
Okay. All right, sige. So set this up for us. What were the challenges in getting this shot?
Aside from the hike, which started at around 12 midnight, and we have to go up here before the sunrise. The hike actually is when you look at it on the internet, they rate it as it's a medium. Medium.
For who? For
Gab.
Okay. All right. And then
so what would take the medium hikers 1.5 hours took me around 2.5.
Okay. Right.
So that gives you perspective on how.
Baka same rin ako, man. Okay.
Ayun, and then also when we arrived here, there's already a group of photographers. Parang photography tour din.
Okay.
Indonesian photographers. They're lined up in front of this tree already.
Oh no, okay.
Kung baga, imagine a fence of tripods. There's a fence of tripods already there.
Right. Wow.
So we had a chit chat with them, and then we were able to squeeze our tripods on 3 different spots, one in the middle and 2 on 2 sides.
Okay, that was nice of them naman.
Tatlo kami ni Win eh. So
okay.
Yung tripod namin, 3 nakaspread. And then what we did is pare-pareho kami ng mount eh. So after we shot on our existing place, we swapped places without removing the tripod.
Okay.
so we
okay, that's smart. Okay. All right. And then is this a panorama stitch also, Chris?
Yeah, this is a panorama stitch using the Z7 2470. It's a 3 vertical shots.
Okay.
Stitch.
Okay. And then so when you get to a place, no, actually that's a good question. That's a good thing you mentioned that. What if there were people there who didn't want to share? Yung sikuhan kayo?
Hindi naman din eh. We hadn't had that experience yet eh.
Yeah,
pero kasi we anticipate that na. Whenever we have these trips, as much as possible we arrive very early na kami yung unang tatayo.
Okay.
So that's the ano nga ng mga chat ng kaya nga tinawag tayo na mga very patient eh ang landscape photographers. Kasi 6 o'clock pa yung sunset. We're already standing on the spot around 4.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
makes sense. Okay. So guys, for those who are watching right now on YouTube and Facebook, if you have questions for Chris, please just drop them in the comments. I do pay attention more to the YouTube feed. So if you want to transition to that, you can, and please do, because I will be cutting the Facebook live feed after before the third set of photos. So I know you may have a lot of technical questions about these photos, and Chris is more than willing to answer that. Okay, so let's move on to the video. You had a video here.
Yeah. So that's the view from that spot.
Okay, and then it says, I think I saw your profile. You had a mask.
Yeah, because of that, you can see the smoke from that video already, di ba? The sulfur is
Okay,
the direction of the wind.
right.
Sometimes the sulfur blows on our direction kasi, and then it's suffocating. That's why all the people who goes up there are advised to bring gas mask. No?
Gas
Because
mask, not the N95, not the ano.
no gas mask talaga kasi some people will still go down that crater. Right smack on those smoke kasi that's why the trips there starts at 12 midnight.
Okay.
Kasi some photographers and people want to experience the blue flame.
The blue flame.
Uh,
Okay.
Blue flame kasi this is also popular because of the blue flame. When you
Okay.
go down the crater,
Right.
you'll see the blue flame coming out from the ground. Para siyang methane na maapoy, di ba?
Okay.
So people photograph that also.
You didn't go through that na.
We didn't go there kasi I imagine the way back up again.
So technically, Chris, if someone wanted to visit this volcano, they can go up, take the photo sunrise, and then pero for the blue flame, they will have to wait until sunset again.
No, that people start climbing at 12 midnight. That's I think that's the most people do that, no. So when they arrive at the top, they go down the crater and shoot the blue flame, and then go up to this rim
Okay.
to shoot around, parang ganon.
So you can't have both. It's either one lang.
Sacrifice mo yung isa, medyo maliwanag na pag-akyat mo eh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your head, so when you did the pre-planning for this, it was just this shot that you had in your mind. It wasn't the blue flame.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right.
I was then set already on that composition.
Okay, gets. At least focused. Okay, and then all right. So you prepare a lot when you're making these strips, no? But have you ever, how flexible are you when it comes to the angle? Let's say when you get there, ay hindi pala okay to, or you know what? I'll try 4 angles, or how many angles do you actually try to do?
Okay. Recently I stick to around 3 to 4. Marami na yung 4 angles per
Because of the light, no? Magbabago
because
na.
of the light. Not whereas before, everyone naman starts at like a machine gun, di ba? As you want to shoot on as many spots as possible para sulit yung clip, di ba?
Sayang bayad eh.
So ngayon kaya pre-visualization talaga is important, so you can already have this picture in mind that you can focus on na lang.
Right.
So instead of having 100 photos na walang worth your portfolio, you bring home at least 2 to 3 that's portfolio worthy. Parang
okay.
Ganun na yung target ko eh. Ganun na yung thinking.
Okay. So before we move on to the third or the last set, no? So when you went to Indonesia, how many sites did you plan on visiting? Was it just this one?
No, we visited several sites in Indonesia. One was in I think I posted that also, yung falls.
Okay.
We visited 3 falls and 2 volcanoes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if let's say I want to join Chris and Win on a photography trip, how many sites do I expect? How long is this trip if I want to go on your workshops?
Safe na yung 5 days. We can cover a lot of iconic places in 5 to 6 days.
Okay.
And then in that 5 to 6 days, we can shoot around 8. 6 to 10.
Right.
Depending on the distances between the sites.
Okay. Pero hindi to ngarag.
kasi,
Hindi to ngarag. Like medyo relaxed pa yung ano.
Yeah, medyo relaxed. Yeah. And then also we schedule kasi to shoot on optimal time, no?
Okay.
So may naka-schedule kami for sunrise, may naka-schedule for sunset. And then yung midday, yan yung time to explore yung medyo relaxing exploration na. kahit
Right.
sa mga falls na lang siya, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Pero yung typical yung sunset and sunrise, yun yung talagang naka-schedule yon ng tama.
Okay, all right. So great. Okay, so guys, for you guys, for the guests who are watching right now, we have Cris Magsino, who's a commercial and landscape photographer. I highly recommend that you visit him on Instagram, Cris Magsino, and I believe he also has social media on Facebook, Cris Mag. Most of his work is there. They're just amazing and they're great for inspiration if you are considering taking up landscape photography or for photography in general. Follow him on Instagram and on Facebook. So now we are heading over to our third set of photos. And like I mentioned earlier, if not earlier in other episodes, we will be cutting the Facebook stream. And I would like to invite everyone who is watching on Facebook right now to go over to YouTube so that you can continue with the third set of photos, and I guarantee those are really good. I will also post in a comment the link, although the link is in the description already. So for those guys who are on Facebook, I'll see you on YouTube. And here we go. Okay. And then Chris, let's move on to the final set of photos. Okay. And then in this photo, this was shot in China, I believe, right?
That one is in Guilin, China.
Guilin. Okay.
Uh,
And then okay, so what is happening here? I believe this is an iconic shot from Guilin.
Yeah, so for those who don't know the story behind this famous fisherman from Guilin, most people, a lot of photographers say that he's rich already because he's always in the pictures.
So it's just one fisherman. They're not. It's just one
No, there's a
person.
couple.
Okay.
Actually, there's a couple. No? Pero they look alike kasi. That's
Mm.
why people think that he's the only one. No?
Okay.
Actually, these are paid models already.
Okay.
Backstory tayo kasi here in our guide, the Chinese guide told us na fishing is not allowed already here in the Lee River
Okay.
because of the depletion of I think the fishes from what I remember, no. And they
Okay.
want to make the river recover.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Of course.
So, yung traditional fishing na ito, which is the cormorant fishing, which this place is known for,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot practice already. Even the modern fishing, they're not allowed. So, but the fisherman resorted to doing this paid modeling stints for this shot. So those photographers who would like to capture this traditional kind of fishing in China can do so, no? So these are post shots already, no? So
Okay.
people would know, yeah.
And then how many people were there? Other photographers were there taking this photo.
This trip, it's only me and my brother together with
Okay.
our guide. So
Okay.
it's a private tour talaga.
Okay. So there were no one else. There were no other people there.
No other
Wow.
one.
All to
You can see
yourselves.
the BTS, di ba? I
Ah,
showed
yeah. That's right.
around.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
So it's me, Win, and the guide only.
Sige, let's view that video. Ay, nag-stretch siya. Okay. Nag-stretch yung video. So that was
Okay.
just you.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
And then there's two spots for these shots eh. So ano siya, dalawa yung naging background namin.
Okay. And then you were using a Z7 as well?
Z7 with the 2470 also.
24 to 70. Gamit na gamit ang
Gamit, yes.
ang
That's my
24.
favorite combo now.
Okay, let's play this again. Yan. So this is the area.
This area, it's so quiet and serene. We had the place to ourselves. Eh.
Okay, okay. And then okay, so there's Win, and then that's you. Okay, so in terms of your gear, you are also using filters.
Yeah, when the need arises, I use Nisi filters
Okay.
for long exposure photography.
Okay. So you don't always use filters for your photos.
Most of the time yung CPL. So that's the CPL is the one that controls the reflections and the cast yung mga highlights,
Right.
no? Yung highlights. So if I want to control the reflections or to lessen the highlights, I use the CPL most of the time.
I
Pero
see.
pagka long exposure, I use the six stop or the 10 stop filters.
6 or the 10 stop. Okay.
Uh,
And then anything else that people should know if they want to visit Guilin? You said before that you mentioned that you realized the importance of guides as well.
yeah, it's very difficult to go around China, no? Kasi aside from the language, number one is the language barrier. Number two, uh, transportation. Parang I can't imagine someone doing a backpacking trip there.
Okay.
Na kasi
Why?
yung
Is
transportation
it
medyo
controlled or
no, hindi naman siya controlled pero ewan ko, hindi lang naman I think we just don't know it that much yet, no?
mm,
Pero I think it's difficult to travel without your own car. No.
right. Okay.
Ganun. Also,
Okay.
the one also is one tip also I can give is to prepare lots of cash. Kasi your credit card won't do anything there.
That's true. That's
And
true.
it's so difficult to change money. So
Ah,
whatever
okay.
dollar you have, change everything in the airport na. Kasi pag labas mo ng airport, you can
That's it.
see money changers.
Okay, okay. And then how much do you pay these models, the fishermen?
It's all arranged na. We didn't know how much the guide.
So it's a package
Yeah,
that
it's a
you paid
package.
for it. Okay. And then my last question is you said also that your perceptions of China changed after this trip?
Yeah, kasi when you think when you hear China, 'di ba? You think of very strict, nakakatakot gumalaw, 'di ba? Nakakatakot snub yung mga tao or anything. Mga ganun, mga negative, 'di ba? Pero the whole experience of my China trip was very pleasant and positive. All the
Okay.
people are friendly. Parang dito lang din when we go to the provinces,
Mhm.
'di ba? People extend help, people are happy that you're there.
Yeah.
People ganun din. Nothing's different from how we interact with the strangers. Ganun din sila dun sa China, no? So doon nagulat ako doon na mababait pala sila. Ganun. Pati yung guide namin ang bait.
That's good. That's good. Natanggal
Oo,
yung
ganun.
stigma.
Tatanggal yung stigma. And then I saw the progress, the infrastructure.
Right.
Maganda, but they take pride on the country, I think, no? Na maganda lahat eh.
Oh, that's good. That's
High-tech and modern. Siguro
transformative.
hindi ko rin nakita lang din siguro yung the other side, pero everything I experienced was pleasant and positive.
That's good to hear. Okay, so let's go back to this the technical side of this photo, no. So, are these cormorants, they're trained na? So parang paulit-ulit na lang yung routine when they fish? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, the fish is already dead, no. Whenever the fisherman throws the fish on the water, the cormorant will go after it, and then he'll lift the stick for the shot, no. So dapat dito sa shot na to naka-burst. This is a burst shot.
Okay.
So
Parang wildlife lang.
Several of these, several takes, and then I had this favorite one na kita mo talaga yung fish go inside the mouth, no?
Okay. And then in terms of the fine art part of this, did you do anything? Did you replace the sky, or did you was there any creative take?
Manipulation. The only one that I added here is the fog
The fog.
at the back. Sorry.
Okay.
The fog, yeah. Because I wanted to separate the action from the background.
Okay. That's a good thing.
The actual shot doesn't have the fog.
Okay.
So medyo nalulunod yung subject dun sa background.
Okay.
That's why I added it.
Okay. So when you add elements like fog, is this something that is stock, or do you paint it yourself, or?
I paint it myself using brushes.
Nice. Grabe. Yun nga. So that's what I'm saying. That your background in painting is really, giving you that unfair advantage, Chris, in your photos, no? Wow. Okay. So with these 3 photos, they had different challenges as well, no? So how do you choose now your next trip?
Okay. Yun nga dapat yung next. I want my trip kasi to be different from the usual trips that photographers are doing right now.
Okay.
So, di ba, usually pag landscape photographer, they go to Iceland,
Mm-hmm.
to Lofoten, ganyan, di ba?
Okay.
So I wanted something different sana for this year. That's why the Egypt trip, kasi no one's done it that much yet eh. Si Annabelle lang, naunahan ako ni Annabelle.
For Egypt.
Oo.
Okay, okay. So
So
Egypt
yun yung
pala.
yun yung mga tina-target ng trip yung hindi pa pinupuntahan eh. So
I
para
see.
when I release the image, ano siya, very new to the audience, di ba?
That's true.
Very new,
That's
fresh.
a good way to look at it. So you don't visit the same site twice or
Japan ako umulit, no, kasi marami sa Japan na pang hindi pwede pang explore. There's a
okay.
lot of chance to explore in Japan pa kasi.
That's true.
Uh,
Okay, Chris, so we are almost out of time. So I'd like to ask you, no, for those who are starting out, they want to take on landscape photography, they want to learn, let's say the GCQ, everything is lifted, it's safe to travel. They want to start with a starter kit. What would you recommend?
in terms of gear,
Yes, camera,
okay.
lens, filters.
Okay. For landscape photography, it's a must that you use a full manual camera, no? So
Okay.
it can be a DSLR or mirrorless. Basta you have full control of the shutter, the aperture, the ISO, kasi that's how you can play around with and how you can explore, no?
Mm-hmm.
So number one is the camera. Number two, the lens. First, you invest on the ultra wide. So
Okay.
from you can use either 1024 or the 24/7 or the 1424, 1430, mga ganun, no? Mga ultra wide.
The one
And
for
then
ano Z,
when
yeah.
you're comfortable enough using those ultra wide, you can switch to using like me, I'm using the 2470 and the 70-200 frequently now as compared to using my ultra wide.
Right.
So yun na, you can explore na.
So
Ayun. And then also the filters. That's one is the filters also. So when you're bored that you can you're bored at shooting or not being able to play with the camera or nalilimit ka na ng settings ng camera.
mhm,
That's when you explore filters so you can go beyond what the camera is capable of.
that's
Yan
good.
siya.
Okay. So you guys who have kit lenses na 24 to 70, don't fret because Chris uses 24 to 70 for his photos. So it doesn't mean that you have to. Hindi naman nila kailangan bumili ng 40 to 24, di ba? If they don't have budget for it, they can use the 24 to
Yeah.
70.
Kahit na yung kit lens, I think, ano nga ba yung kit lens niya? 15, ano nga siya? 55 ba?
Uh,
Parang ganun, di ba?
I know the DX, the Z50 is 16 to 50, di ba? Parang 24 to 70.
Ayun, 1650. That's a perfect lens na to start playing with landscape na.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good to know for everyone who's watching. Okay, so
Uh,
Chris, do you have any tips for those who like parting tips for those who want to start photography or those who are already in parang emerging talent for landscape photographers?
okay. So, dun sa mga starting with landscape photography, always remember lang to explore and learn how to pre-visualize then. Yan. Para when you go to a place, you're not someone who's clueless on what to do,
Yeah.
on what to shoot.
Mm-mm.
You already have this idea of the final picture in your mind. Yun siguro yung magandang i-develop, no, aside from doing the usual things na sinasabi na in prep.
Yes.
Kasi lahat naman tayo, preparation ng equipment, pare-pareho na yan eh. So that makes you different when you were able to do pre-visualization na. Doon na magsa-start yung identifying your character as a landscape photographer.
Okay.
That's a start of
Your
development.
style.
Your style, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Chris, thank you very much for joining us in Behind the Shot. Guys, this has been awesome. This is Cris Magsino, landscape photographer. I'd like to show you again his Instagram account. So please visit. Amazing work there. And also he has on Facebook, so Cris Mag. Chris, thank you very much for joining us. And it's good to see you
Thank
again
you
after
naman
1 year.
Oo nga. Let's do the trip pagka safe na.
Yes, I actually want to join your trips, Chris, for for landscape and workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you
Thank you,
naman ha
Chris.
for inviting me.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you also for
Thank
joining.
you everyone for listening.
Okay. Bye, Chris. Chris,
Okay.
stay muna in our conversation. I will just close the show and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right?
Sige.
Okay. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye, Chris. Okay, and that was our 10th episode for Behind the Shot with Cris Magsino spearheading this week of landscape photographers. So, also for this week, we have Jen Perez also for Wednesday. So our first female guest actually. It has been, it's a refreshing episode because I've actually been trying to get a female photographer also on board here on Behind the Shot, but due to scheduling conflicts, it just wasn't possible until this time. So I'm very happy that Jen is joining us, and she's very very talented as well. And she will be showing her work from Iceland and from Inner Mongolia and also from China. So, man, this is really hard for people like me who want to travel and we can't because of the lockdown, but at least we can live vicariously through Jen and her photos and Behind the Shot. And then so we have Chris today, this Monday, and then Jen on Wednesday for 5 p.m. same time. And then on Friday we have Jay Alorina, who is also a landscape photographer on Friday, June 5. Jay is actually from Don Bosco, Makati, like myself, so Bosconian. So I'm excited for that as well. And there you go. That is our episode for today. So thank you for joining us. If you want to see more of my work, visit Noel Guevara Photo. Also, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for this video on YouTube. So it really goes a long way in helping us. And like I said, if you are interested in getting one of those caps for pre-order, just message me on Facebook or leave a comment here on YouTube and I will get in touch with you. Thanks, guys. So for those who are commuting their way back home, I hope you're safe and you're home already. If not, please stay safe. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday again. Thank you and cheers.